Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. You search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Give us a follow on Twitter at Locked On ATL. I'm at Mark Zinno, Markzinno. Appreciate you guys making A to Z part of your daily sports listen. We continue to grow this whole thing. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It has been an amazing first 2 months in the books for us here at Locked On Sports Atlanta. We are so happy that you guys have chosen to join us, and please continue the support. We certainly appreciate it. And I want to get you guys involved. So again, reach out to me on Twitter, on social media, and give me your reaction to the show. Let me know your thoughts. Share some ideas. I'm all for it. And after you listen to A to Z, make sure you check out all the other great shows we have here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Hitting Hard with John Chuckery, ATL Day Ones, Jarvis Davis, and Tanitra Batiste. Our Braves postcast with Grant McCauley. You saw Aaron Freeman from Locked On Falcons yesterday, and in hibernation right now from Locked On Hawks. It's our good friend Brad Rowland. So we'll obviously get the Brad coming up here as the summer goes along, because we do have a little bit of news that may concern the Hawks, and we'll get into the NBA Finals coming up here in our final segment of the show. But another Falcons OTA gets underway on Friday. Availability is open to the media. I won't be able to be there. I have this golf weekend planned with friends that I do every single year, and so I'll be out of town, but I'll certainly get up the Flowery Branch. I promise to give you guys a full report as soon as I do. That said, one of the things I'm curious to see is how quickly Desmond Ridder will get in with the ones and how many reps he's going to get. You know, you'll get a sense of how much Arthur Smith wants to lean on Desmond Ridder and give him an opportunity to start. Now, we talked last week about sort of the culture and everything that Arthur Smith was trying to create. I've said repeatedly, I've talked about how, this team can be competitive. I've talked about how Desmond Ridder, for the first time for him to get into the game or get into a game in the season, barring injury, week 8 against Carolina Panthers, all that. And we hear today from Marcus Mariota that he says that he believes that Desmond Ridder is going to be the starting quarterback week 1 of the NFL season. Well, that's nice that he thinks that, but that's not his job. And we've seen this storyline come out often. I've seen it up close and personal in teams that I've covered in my career. But Ryan Tannehill this year, when of the Tennessee Titans, when they drafted Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill said, it's not my job to mentor him. And he's 100% right. It's not his job. Ryan Tannehill's job is to play quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Until somebody tells him it's not his job anymore, that is his job. No one ever gets acquired to be a coach on the field. That's not how it goes. And fans who think that are wrong. Now, there are players who do it. There are players who are willing to do it. Some are willing to do it more than others, but it's not their job. It's not part of their job description to teach other players how to play football. It doesn't make you a bad teammate. It doesn't make you a bad player. It doesn't make you a bad person. Okay? What it makes you is somebody who does their job. Your job is to do your job. And that's enough on a football field. You don't have to do other people's job. NFL staffs are pretty big for a reason. They have coaches for every single level and multiple coaches at every single level for a reason. That's their job, to teach people how to play and what to do, not the guys on the field. So it's not Marcus Mariota's job to get Desmond Ridder to play football in the NFL. Marcus Mariota's job right now is to be a quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons and theoretically the starting quarterback in week 1. So it's one of these deals where, the best thing Mariota can do is be ready to give way to Desmond Ridder, right? Like, Marcus has to know that this job isn't his long-term. And I think he's smart enough to know that he wasn't brought here to be the starting quarterback long-term. If he was, the Falcons wouldn't have drafted one immediately, like a couple of weeks after the ink got dry on the paper for Mariota's contract. So that's not, he's smart enough to know that he is not a long-term starter in this league anymore. He is a backup, and he can be a great backup, and he can help mentor younger guys. Not his job, but he can help do it if he chooses to. And according to everything we're reading and seeing, he does want to choose to. He does want to do that. He has said openly again, he expects Mariota to start the season opener as the quarterback, as a starting quarterback. Okay, great. Again, it's not Mariota's decision. But when they go to OTAs and how much time will Ridder get with the ones will be very, very telling. Those are the things you pay attention to. For fans who, when you get to training camp and you watch things, like, forget what you see, forget like the long bomb that's completed that everybody gets excited about, which I can't understand. Watch who is playing next to whom and who is getting reps and who is getting starting reps and who is working with the ones, who's working with the twos, what plays they're running, things of that nature. That's what you got to start looking for, because ultimately that's going to tell you what's an indicator of the season. There's a reason why they film practice every day, all day, because they have to get hours and hours of tape on guys to judge truly what they can do, because you can't watch all 11 players on the field, let alone all 22 on the field if you're Arthur Smith, at the same time when something happens. So, how much will Desmond Ridder get to be with the ones? It'll be hard to tell. I'm curious to see how quickly that starts out. It may be a gradual thing. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. It may be something where he'll only get 10% of the reps with the runs to start. Then, another OTA, they'll increase it to 25, because like for all rookie quarterbacks, you don't want to throw too much at them too quickly, because their ability to digest it isn't as great as some of the veterans in this league. Some young kids pick it up, some don't. And that may be the other part of this that we're leaving out and we're forgetting. Desmond Ridder's ability to digest an NFL offense and understand reading NFL defenses. He's not coming from LSU. He's not coming from Georgia. He's not coming from USC or even Ohio State, where they have something called legitimate defenses. He's coming from Cincinnati. Memphis is not an NFL caliber defense. Memphis doesn't have but one player that is an NFL caliber defensive player, let alone a starter. Neither does Tulane, neither does Houston. They maybe have one NFL player on their entire defense. So he hasn't seen competition at this level. And so he is going to need time to understand what that looks like. And if he doesn't get it quick, they're not going to throw more at him. They'll only give him as much as he can handle, and that's a smart way to handle it. If he can't handle a lot very quickly, guess what? Psst, you might have drafted the wrong guy. That's one thing they'll be looking for. If he can't pick it up, they'll know very quickly, kid can't play. Can't play. He can't play. And that happens. It happens more than you think. But that's kind of what you're going to start to see, and what I'm going to start to look for at these next OTAs, and how much they will be able to install with a quarterback like Desmond Ridder, and how fast it'll be able to happen. All right, coming up next, NBA Finals Game 1 coming up. A quick preview of the Celtics and Golden State Warriors, plus a little bit of news that could provide the Hawks with a little bit of a windfall. We'll discuss that coming up next, right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta.